on I'm playing Hell Divers on my laptop. Right, so this is all about my thingy. And how do I get out? Right, so that's how. Right, guys. My fan wasn't working for a few days, so I managed to get it up and running. I'm gonna do a bit of gaming on Steam Deck. Right, need to log in. I got this keyboard thing over here, and just gonna log in. This is something. It's phone link. I'm just gonna close that. That's DSX. Gonna close that. That's File Explorer. Close that. I'm gonna start Windows Mobility Center. I'm gonna get sound. The reason why I use sound is because I've got one of these. That's what I'm using for gaming. So I need this to be active. I need this in the background. Then I'm gonna start up set timer resolution. I don't know, that takes a while to start up. I'm gonna start up AMD power control panel. That's also seemingly to take its time. The set timer resolution is. This is AMD power control panel. It says power status docked. Docked means that it's connected to the dock in the back. It's connected to power. That's what that means. Right, it says TDP sustained 10 watts. Slow limit is 10 watts. Fast limit is 10 watts. GPU max frequency is 0. Maximum processor frequency is 1100. Maximum ampere cores is 3. Active profile is 10 watts and default profile is 10 watts. Active XC is none. I'm going to go to the active profile and change this to 49 watts. And everything... everything changes to 49 watts. So TDP sustained is 49, slow limit is 49, fast limit is 49. GPU maximum frequency is 400. Maximum processor frequency from 1100 to 3500. And maximum ampere cores is 3. You should say 4, but mine just says 3. Active profile is 49 watts and default profile is still the 10 watts. And active XC is none. If you want to know what is the XC, XC is just a game that you would have added. But I'm going to start up this DS for Windows. I'm also going to start up, I need to close MS Afterburner. I need to close the phone link thing, just to quit out of it. And to close River Turner Statistics. And I have another one, I will show you this one. This is the other AMD power control panel. I did tell you guys about this one. How do you find this? This one is a bit difficult to find because it's been updated to the gray one. It's got the same name, but it doesn't start with AMD. I think it's just called control panel, but it does the same thing, but this one uses slightly more voltage. You see it's actually telling you that the active cores is 3. It's telling you the maximum CPU is 3500. This does go up to 5000 megahertz. It says GPU clock there, so if I go for the clock, mine says 400 megahertz, but I can actually push this to 2300. Right, it's telling you everything else. FPS limit is 40 watts, 40 FPS. Actually, I don't have to close it. I'll just leave it running in the background because it is technically working with the AMD power control panel, so it's not causing a problem. This is AMD software Adrenaline, and it says the last game I played, Call of Duty 3 Modern Warfare, FPS count is 29.1. Firelight was 48 FPS. War Robots Frontiers was 60.6 FPS. The drivers I'm using as the original, the AMD custom GPU 0405, and I'm using the 4 gigs of VRAM. On audio and video I use Vivid Gaming, and the preferences have changed slightly. Let me see this thing. I just need to see. Turn off web browser. I don't need that. Leave the rest. Advertisements, turn that off. Actually, I need the browser. I'm gonna leave the browser on. Toast notification. That is when you're starting games, it usually tells you AMD and then how to access that while you're playing games. So that's the toast notification that's talking about. I've recently changed how I run my... sorry, let me get to this thing first. And I need to see... I think I keep missing it. There's something that I'm looking for. I think it's performance. Yeah, in here. So I'm just looking at it. Sampling interval is still 1.75. These are all the graphs that I've got. The GPU memory, system memory. It says 385 megahertz, megabytes. Sorry. Utilization is 385 megabytes. Clock speed is saying 687 megahertz. It's saying utilization is 5.1 gigabyte system memory. GPU AMD custom APU. It's 2%. I think that's utilization. And then it says the... Oh, sorry, that's CPU. And the GPU is 0% for utilization. I mean, I'm not playing games at the moment. And then it says FPS is NA FPS. So this can actually count the frames per second. Sampling interval is 1.75. Some people do use 2.0, but I think 1.75 is the best. I know you're going to think, where did you get your sampling interval from? Watching a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of people did say that 1.75 was actually the best one or the better option. So that's actually the better option, because what is happening with the sampling interval is that the fact that you're using less, like 1.75, is better, because if you use something higher than that, and the game you're playing, like for example Call of Duty, has an issue with frames, you know, it always has to do that catch stuff. You know, it's always trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? It's always trying to catch up in catching the images, isn't it? So the frames per second do work with images. So the 1.75 is actually the fair one. This one can pick up a lot of images, compile them for the next gaming section. You know, like, it's just copying images over and over again. That's the best way I can describe sampling interval. It's collecting an image again and again and again, and it's just repetitive. So you keep playing Call of Duty, you think you're playing this different matches, but it's just an image with you running around thinking you're actually doing something when you're not doing anything. It's a trick for this can go really deep, you know. But let's just stick to what this is. It's just copying images over and over again. That's what this is. Sampling interval is just it's like a graph going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like that. So sampling interval is like the longer and the shorter it takes for it to copy, and the shorter distance it takes for it to copy is a sampling interval. That's what this is. It's just copying itself over and over and over again. But the shorter it takes, you see, the longer, this means more images in a shorter period of time. More images in a shorter period of time. So that's what sampling interval actually means. Maybe someone else on the internet can explain it better, but that's what I think it means. Right, going to create graphics. I have changed my global graphics things because I'm no longer using modded drivers. I went back to the original. It still says custom. I do not use Radeon. Sorry, this mouse of mine is a bit weird. I don't use Radeon anti-lag because it won't allow you to use Radeon Chill. And if you use Radeon Pro, I don't know what this thing is, this boost thing, it will stop you from using some of the functions down here. I don't know what it stops. I think it stops the Radeon image sharpening. So I don't use Radeon anti-lag or the Radeon Pro boost thing. I use Radeon Chill. Why? Because it's got a minimum FPS. I set mine to 45, and the maximum FPS I set to 59 FPS. Why set it at 45 to 59 and not higher than that or lower than that? Because games are different. Games play differently on the Steam Deck, and every game that plays on the Steam Deck could actually be outputting higher FPS. So you don't want to limit the FPS count too low to 30 FPS. You want to get it slightly up there. You know, it's like pushing the Steam Deck a little bit to give you more frames. Why then go for the maximum of 59 and not above? From what I watched on YouTube, they said using higher FPS can be actually bad, especially if your system your system being the Steam Deck, especially if your system is not designed for gaming. So actually going at 59 FPS is a good idea.